A ceremony at the Pentagon wrapping up just moments ago. The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, along with service members and their families, marking POW MIA Recognition Day. Today, the nation honoring Americans who were held as prisoners of war, as well as those who served and never made it home. Here is Secretary Hegseth.
Prisoners of war, those missing in action, and their families have borne the greatest sacrifices for our country that we can imagine. We owe them an immeasurable debt. They gave the greatest possible sacrifice you could give on the altar of freedom. We will never leave them, and we will not forget them. Because what we do now for them then says a lot about us today, and we all pray that someday a Secretary of War here, 50 years from now on this field, is ensuring that anyone lost in future battlefields is brought home.
Air Force veteran Ralph Galati spent 406 days as a prisoner of war in North Vietnam. He was released in March of 1973 during Operation Homecoming. Galati here seen on the far right as he and his fellow Air Force officers share details of their captivity. Ralph Galati joining us now this morning to talk about the importance of this day. Thank you so much, sir, for your service and for your time this morning. What does today and this recognition mean to you personally?
It's very mixed, and thank you for your coverage today. It's mixed because I was one of 591. I don't even recognize that guy. 591 that were released in February and March of '73, and we were welcomed home. But there were 3 million that served that were treated, very poorly and were treated as being toxic. But the missing in action is really the focus, or should be the focus for today. There's still 81,000 missing since World War II. That means 81,000 families still waiting for an accounting. So while the POW issue, we appreciate that and the welcome home, today really ought to be about the families who continue to sacrifice and wait for the return of their loved one.
And I appreciate you mentioning that. For the missing in action, how can we best spotlight and what type of action are you looking for to bring those families closure?
Well, there's little we can do, although many communities continue to dedicate POW MIA Chair of Honor, which is a visible explanation in colleges and universities and federal buildings to show that we still care and we will not forget, we will not abandon our missing. And the other one is what you see there on the screen is ceremonies that continue to raise the issue. The DPAA, Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, a part of the Department of Defense, still goes around the world trying to find the remains of our lost ones, and in a very dignified manner, bring them home, identify them, and have a nice formal return to their families. So we could ask for nothing more than that.
Yeah, incredible and important work. Talk about your own survival in captivity, both physically and mentally, what you endured.
Well, I was there 14 months, which is small by comparison to folks like John McCain, who was there for 6 years, or Everett Alvarez, that was there for 8.5 years. So a lot of it was really absorption and reliance on faith and family, your fellow POWs, trusting that everyone else would have your back. It was an endurance test, but every day it was one of survival and resistance. But most importantly, it was to maintain our honor and return home with that honor and dignity intact. And we knew we had the support of the American public with the POW MIA flag and the bracelet campaign. So we knew we had not been abandoned. And that was a great morale boost for us in 1972.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.